Well, good morning. 6:12. Anything to talk about from yesterday? How about it was the greatest Easter ever?
That's funny.
I mean, I don't know how to compare this Easter to any other Easter. Good morning, Christine.
Good morning.
You're just looking on as if you're...
Well, from a news perspective, it wasn't the greatest Easter ever, unless it's from a sports news perspective, because there was a bombing in Pakistan.
Yeah, I know, but that was so far away. This was right here. Wow, that really just pours water on a wonderful bonfire.
I said it was an exciting news, exciting
Talk about,
sportscast.
I mean, it's like the Saturday Night Live bit, the Debbie Downer. It's like,
sorry.
But there was a bombing in Pakistan. Greatest Easter ever for us. And you're wearing your Syracuse hat there.
Yes, I was in full Cuse gear yesterday, and actually so was our little Carter, my wife, the in-laws. Everybody was all Cused out yesterday, and it was interesting as well because normally it's like it's Easter, we eat at like 3:00. Everyone's on the road by 5:00, but we had like 12 people who stayed.
Everybody stayed.
Who watched the game last night, so
everybody
it was really
yelled.
Fun. Everybody yelled,
and you know, if anybody says right around, I don't know, 13 minutes left in the game that they knew this was going to happen, I can't believe them. But you still had hope, right?
Yeah, you always have hope.
But even, you know, with, I don't know, 12, 13 minutes left in the game, I'm like, I think we may have finally seen an end to an amazing run.
It was a great year.
And then it happened.
All of a sudden,
Richardson, holy moly.
Richardson and Roberson, you know, throughout the season, it was really Benajay and Cooney that at least everyone thought that the team lived and died by Benajay and Cooney. But ever since the tournament began, and probably a little bit before, at least with Roberson, it's been Roberson and Richardson moves that team. And anytime they need a big bucket, it's the freshman, Malachi Richardson, who just seems to pull up and hit a three-pointer.
He had what? How many points? 21 points in the second half. It was incredible. By the way, Richardson was named the MVP. I'm pretty sure. What an amazing comeback! You want to talk about it? 7360186. But you will always, if you're a Syracuse fan, or maybe a Virginia fan, you will always remember Easter of 2016.
I have to tell you as well. You know, we play with the baby constantly, and we're always trying to get him to smile, and he smiles, you know, a ton, and we're really lucky to have such a happy little guy. So while the comeback is going on, and you know, we're all like amped up, I guess we'll say. So Richardson hits the three-pointer that gives him a 4-point lead, and where we were at my in-laws, the place just went nuts. It was just everyone, yes, and we high-fived. Apparently, we scared the baby. He was on the other side of the room in Grandma's arms, and just the burst of noise.
Yeah, yeah.
He was screaming.
It's so funny you say that because after the game, see, my wife did a terrible thing. She videotaped and posted it on Facebook. It was the most. This was the biggest betrayal ever. Because I at one point looked over and said to stop, and then of course, how could I pay any attention? But it gets loud, right?
It's funny you said that because
hard, very difficult.
If you can hear this. Yeah, this is us. Me secretly recording our party.
Yeah, I mean, really I think that, and even Andrew had posted something, and screaming and yelling. It was just something. We'll get to more of this coming up. There's a lot of other stuff going on. Oh, I should say that I did tweet something out last night that Syracuse basketball retweeted, which was kind of cool. And the retweet was, so I tweeted, Houston, here we come, with the apostrophe Cuse. Houston, here we come. And they retweeted, Syracuse basketball retweeted T-shirt alert, and they retweeted it. Anyway, so I was all excited, like, oh, that's cool. And then my wife is like, listen, you can't steal this. You stole this from a little kid. And she's correct that a little girl, Kylie Dodge, kind of misinterpreted what was going on and said, we're going to Houston. And my daughter's dance teacher tweeted it out or put it on Facebook. and I stole it. and listen, it went pretty good. I mean, it was being retweeted and all of that, but I totally stole it. And
I wonder if Kylie Dodge will get a SU scholarship if they
Well,
turn
it
in
might-
lots of T-shirts
might
with
be
their little
might be something to think about right there.
And I have to mention this as well because I've gotten some heat for not mentioning it. But yesterday, for the first time ever, at least on an Easter and a holiday when we had the whole family over, we sat around, we watched the Syracuse women earlier in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Their first Final Four in program history. They also upended a number one, although they did that on Friday night when they beat a number one seed, South Carolina. They took care of Tennessee by 20-something points.
They were down by a few, and then I looked away, and then I looked back. Well, once I figured out that in women's basketball they play 4 quarters.
Which is a new thing this year.
That was, I had no idea what was going on. I thought they had won the game. I just looked up and saw second, and I'm like, there's just seconds left. They're up by 10.
Right.
And then it said second quarter, and I'm trying to figure out, was that a mistake, or does it go 4 quarters like high school? And or NBA, right? And sure enough that it does. Anyway, that happened, and that was really, really big. And is there anything else on the Syracuse thing? Andrew put out Andrew, after the game, couldn't stop and began chanting with his family. This was huge, Andrew.
So I've been under the impression that people give a crap about my life. So I've been trying
to tweet stuff out.
Well, no, I do this Facebook Live thing.
Was that live that you did?
There was at one point when the game first ended, I went live, and then your video gets up. So whatever your live video was, it gets uploaded directly to your page. So over the course of a while, the video was on just my regular Facebook page. But I went live and saw that I only got most 5 viewers since I ended it.
I don't know. My wife was one of them.
Well,
I think she watched afterwards.
Yeah, watching afterward. But I was, it was awesome too. You talk about, what an awesome thing it was for Syracuse to win, but to watch with family and stuff, it was a nice little Easter present. Nice little Easter egg there.
It really was.
It was an Easter that will not be forgotten. And as I started off here, Christine, best Easter ever.
Yeah. And I got to say,
cheers.
Remember? Right?
I'm not usually Debbie Downer. I just don't want us to be disrespectful.
Christine, that's half a world away as far as I'm concerned. I will be disrespectful today. I have no choice. But I can go to Christine with an update on the news. Good morning, Christine Bellino. Go on.
Is that my new song from Ernie?
It might be, yeah.
Donald Trump among those calling attention to the terrorist attacks over the weekend. The State Department confirming 2 more Americans are among those killed in last week's terror attacks in Brussels. And here's some positive news for you. Hugh Jackman doesn't just play a superhero on the big screen. He does it in real life as well.
All right, I will give you this in terms of kind of a little downer, the weather. And what a beautiful weekend, what a beautiful Easter Sunday. I mean, it was in the 60s and sunshine. Not that I need to remind you, but we do have some little peaks of winter coming. It won't happen today. It will be rainy and 53. It's kind of mild out there this morning. It feels very spring-like. Tomorrow, high only 39. Then we bounce back up into the 50s and 60s. And then the weekend, Sunday and Monday, calling for snow and temperatures, at least right now, looking in the 30s, overnight lows in the 20s. But it could go colder depending on which way this front goes. But the winter is not completely over as we close out the month of March. Currently, some rain out there right now. It's 48 degrees at WIBX.